Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here with you this morning in this room instead of in that room, even though it's all one room. And so you might be wondering where Dr. Heather is. She's all well. Everything is good. She's moving. And so we know that the movement of our room and our life is right there with her, and her move is going very smoothly. Right? Yes. All right. So do you feel awake? Yeah. Awesome music. Fantastic. And do you feel a little more awake than you did a little while ago? Are you willing to feel even more awake? All right, me too. So that's the thing, about awakening. It's continuous. We continue to wake up. So, as we talk about this idea of awakening to our spiritual magnificence, I just want to let you know right now, you're not going to go home today and it's going to be done. Okay? Yeah, it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing experience, and we start where we are, and then we move forward. So the part of the global vision, and if you're not familiar, the global vision is the vision that many centers for spiritual living are using this year as our vision, calling us to a greater awareness of who we are and whose we are. And so each month we're taking a little bit of that vision and we're taking it in. We're personalizing it. We're taking it into our own lives, and we're looking at it and contemplating it. And so there's a phrase in the global vision, which is on the wall in the back if you want to look at it. The phrase in the global vision that we are looking at today is, ready? We envision a world. Let me start over. We envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence. Ready? We envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence. You guys on board? You willing? We envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence. So I went directly to Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind, and said, Ernest, what do you mean by humanity? Humanity as defined by Ernest Holmes is mankind, human beings collectively, the human race, the multiplied expression of God as people. Here it is, the many who live in the one. So when we're talking about humanity, we're talking about it all. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around. How about you guys? So here's what we'll do. We'll take it into ourselves. Because what I know is that as I awaken to my spiritual magnificence, and even what that means, and as you do, and you do, and you do, and you do, and then we do, that eventually that actually means humanity. So we cannot go out there and change humanity. I just want to let y'all in on a little secret. We can't do that. But we can go within and recognize our own connection with life. We can live from a greater awareness of who and whose we are. And that is what we're exploring today. Deepening this idea of who and whose I am and why it matters that I show up. It does. It does for all of us. And I can sometimes see that magnificence within myself. I mean, I'm pretty great. I am. I know that. Sometimes I can see that really easily. Oftentimes I can see it really easily in Fred. I can see it really easily in Karen. I can see it in Kimberly. I can see it in Bill. I can see it in all of you. I can see that magnificence in all of you. And sometimes I know you see it in me, right? Would it be interesting to you? I know it's interesting to me, but would it be interesting to you to see it more, to see it in a greater way. Not like it isn't all God right here, right now. It is. But to deepen that, expand that, let it go a little bit further, let it stretch a little bit farther. Interesting? Yeah. Well, how do we do that? How do we get to that from here? How do we do that? And really, there's a secret that I'm going to let you in on how we do that. It's called daily, dedicated, spiritual practice. Take time every day to go within and to know that source, know what it means to you. Because as we know it and understand it for ourselves individually, then we get to take it out into the world and we get to express it and we get to sing it and we get to paint it and we get to be it and we get to express it in whatever is uniquely happening through us by means of us. So there's no faking it and trying to be somebody else, except that, sometimes it's really great to borrow their qualities, but being true here and letting the divinity that is God flow through is the way that we do that. And how we anchor into that is really taking that time every single day. Every single day. Does everyone sleep every day? Well, I do. Does everyone eat every day? Unless we're fasting for a particular reason, we do. Does everyone in some way show up every day? And I want to show up in a greater way. So every day we take the time to care for ourselves. We take the time to go within and to know whose we are so that we can show up out into the world. I'm going to stop that now and telling you guys what to do. It's just an offer. Okay, so it's easy to see it in each other. It's oftentimes even easy to know it within ourselves. But what about that other person? Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about. You know who it is. How do we see it in them? How do we do that? Can we? Yeah, we can. Because what we're doing is we're awakening, becoming aware of that which always has been, always will be, and is right now. And as we become aware of that, we see past the mistakes. We see past the human not so skilled activity. We see past where we don't see eye to eye, but we can see heart to heart. We see the divinity that is within someone. And you know what? We won't always be very successful with it with every single person, but when we have an opening, a willingness, I'll give it my best shot, even if that's where we're at, then more and more and more and more often we will get to see that. Ernest Holmes tells us, each of us has the ability to expand our awareness and open to supreme consciousness. We must be willing to give up thoughts of lack and limitation. We are. We must be willing to open to the new and invite a greater and expanded awareness into our lives. We limit ourselves by thoughts of limitation. So now we must open up the doors of consciousness and expand, 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 expand. And no longer think in terms of the backyard lot, but in terms of the infinite nature, in terms of our spiritual magnificence. Our spiritual magnificence. When I let my light shine, you see it. When you let your light shine, I see it. Mother Teresa says, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone upon the waters to create many ripples. And so, we go about doing our business of living our life, knowing who and whose we are, allowing that inspiration that we see around us in nature, that we read in books, that we hear in music, that we feel. And we invite that in a greater way. We open up to it and it awakens us. When we were in Salt Lake City, there was so much inspiration. There was so much wisdom and creativity and beauty and magnificence. And I'm speaking for all of us because that's what all I heard was we were completely opened up and awakened. We thought we were pretty good going in. But I'll tell you what, we came out like, what happened? One of the things that helped to open us up, that inspired us, was a video that we saw. I don't even remember what day it was. It's all a blur. But it's a really fantastic story. And so rather than me telling it, I'll invite Mary to show it to us. This video of someone who saw the vision and took it out into the world.
He's the most remarkable man you've probably never heard of. He's changed the lives of millions of people, including mine. This is Mr. Brown. He's the most remarkable man you've probably never heard of. He's changed the lives of millions of people, including mine. So today, we changed his. But before you know the end of the story, let's start from the beginning. When he was a little boy, he loved to read.
I read everything I could get my hands on. Newspapers and magazines from the garbage. We were poor. We didn't have money to buy all these books.
But there was one book in particular that changed his life.
My grandmother one day walked in and she said, I want you to read this book, Bob. It was called It's Up to You. I probably read it 10 times, over the years, and it inspired me.
It put him on the path to helping people, from small-town cop to the FBI, and from civil rights leader all the way up to the White House. Mr. Brown has worked with people around the world fighting for what's right. His mission brought him to South Africa, where he discovered that thousands of books were banned during apartheid. It broke his heart.
I was appalled by that. Books and education mean everything, not just for the individual, but for our society. I started Booksmart, and then we started expanding the book project to schools across South Africa. The need is unbelievably great, but the resources are not there to keep it moving.
Hundreds of donated books turned into millions. And while he'd never asked for it, Mr. Brown needs help.
My wish for all these books is that we would be able to get to millions of young people who do not have a chance. We're giving them a chance in life. My God. What on earth? Oh my God. We can put a couple million more books in here. This is a complete makeover. I mean, I could never dream this could happen.
My name is Mpumi Nobiva. I am one of the many children Mr. Brown has helped.
Oh, girl.
I have something very special for you.
Oh, my goodness. Where'd you find this? This is it. This is the book. Here is Mr. Brown. We wanted to grant your wish to continue sharing the power of books with the children of Africa. On behalf of all of them and all of your friends at UPS, thank you. all that's going to count in the end, as my grandmother said, is how much good did you do. If you want to do something with your life, it's all up to you.
It's a pretty phenomenal story of how one man's vision, one man's dream could impact so many people, and how cool it is that by him speaking it, others were invited to participate in it. Others were invited to be part of it. And I think that that's really a great opportunity that we have when we're with other friends, other people in our life, when we're inspired by someone to say, yes, yes, I support you in that. Yes, I join you in that. Yes, I'm part of that. And we allow ourselves to be part of the bigger conversations of the world, to touch lives, and to allow ourselves to be touched, to be part of something even bigger than what we might have considered. So there's another story from maybe even earlier than that book called It's Up to You, and you might have heard of it. It's called Pollyanna. Now, when you hear that, do you go like me and go, oh yeah, that's that thing I try not to do? And I've been called a Pollyanna all my life. I wear it well. And I used to think it was a bad thing. I used to think that that was, oh, you're cute, you're sweet, you're such a Pollyanna. But I'm here to tell you that that story is not such an old idea. It's certainly not outdated. And it certainly can call us to a higher living. Because are you familiar with the story of Pollyanna? Well, it was written in 1913. It goes back a ways. And it's written about a young girl called Pollyanna, and she has this game that she plays in life. It's called the good game. And it was taught to her by her father to see the good in everything, to see the good in everything. And she goes to live with her aunt. And it's not a great place, but she sees the good in it. And people aren't very nice to her, but she sees the good in them. And things happen, but she continuously sees the good. And she really drives the people of the village kind of crazy because she's so optimistic. And then something happens to Pollyanna. And it feels like, wow, this is not good. This is not good. And she kind of forgets her game for a little while. But do you know what? All those people in that village, they reminded her. They came to her and said, but Pollyanna, remember? Remember what you told us? Remember what you believe? Remember what you say? There's good in everything. There's good in everything. And so that girl who lost her ability to walk was in an accident, all of a sudden she could see the good in that because of the people around her, because of the difference that those around her made. And this is the difference that we make with each other. When I cannot remember that there is good even in this too, there was someone around me who can remember that. You know why? Because of the company that I keep. That's you guys. That's the people in the world that believe in goodness, that believe that really, really, it's not just lip service, but back of all life, there is a power for good in the universe. Really, back of all life, there's a power for good in the universe, and I can use it. And by the way, it is using me. So that old idea of Pollyanna, I'm re-embracing it. I'm seeing the good in life. I'm seeing it even when in all of my humanness, in all of the condition and in all of the circumstance, that somewhere I am going to receive something from this. And I mean this because there is not God's life and my life. There's only one life. And the more and more and more I can remember that and awaken to that and remind myself that and experience that, the more and more and more I will express that. And I won't just be the light beneath my own feet. I will be the light beneath my feet and the light for those around me. And I like that idea. When I let my light shine, it shines brightly for everyone. And I start to become aware of the lights that are shining in all of the people around me. I start looking for the light. I start looking for the light in that person that I don't agree with, in that person who seems so far over here. And I feel so far over there. I don't need that person to come and make them better. I need to get up, stand up, and look for the light. Because that separation is within me. It's within me. And so it's mine to get to say, oh, thank you, God. Oh, I was feeling separate. I was feeling not good enough. I was feeling afraid. I was feeling like there's only one way. I was feeling and I start paying attention to removing the blocks that separate me from you and you from me. I start looking for the icky spots in life and say, oh yeah, I want you. I want you. I want you, you icky spot. Because I know if I really bring you up to the light of truth and I see the good, that ickiness is going to go away. And what I'm going to find myself in is in the field of God's love. I'm going to find myself in the field of compassion and connection and awareness. And you know what else? I'm going to find myself in the field of spiritual magnificence, where I know that it's all God and God and I are one. And if God and I are one, you and me, we are all one. And I really, really like that idea. And it gets me excited. And then I know I am awakening to my spiritual magnificence. I am awakening and I am witnessing it in those around me. And I'm just going to skip right to the bottom because it's what we do. So remember I mentioned that daily dedicated spiritual practice as the key? And it can look like whatever you want it to look like. But I really just love that that is what it takes. It takes going into the interior of our being and connecting with that high and holy essence of who we are, so that then we can take that out into the world and be it and know it and express it. And I know this for myself and I know it for everyone here. I already know this about you guys. I already know it's true. I already see it. So let's go be it. And let's awaken to our spiritual magnificence in a greater way. Thank you. Diane will set us up and we'll anchor it in prayer.
Breathe on me, Spirit, breathe on me. Hear the cry of my heart now. Spirit, breathe on me. Breathe through me. Spirit, breathe through me. Hear the call
and the breath. We breathe in, and we breathe out. And in that breath, I know that that essence, that truth, that wholeness of who and whose I am is infinite. Even as I name it, I limit it. And so I simply remind myself of the infinite possibility of life. That truth, that wholeness, that spirit, that divinity that is God within, that permeates all life, that is back of all life, that is the creative energy and the activity of all life. And that activity is the self-awareness, the self-existence of God itself, of life itself. And because I know that life continuously reveals itself, expresses itself, knows itself out of its own self-awareness, then I know that that same activity must be true of me. For I know who and whose I am. I am the divine expressing as itself. And so as I know myself, I reveal myself. As I express myself to the world. And as I know this truth for myself, I know it is the truth of every single person. I know it is true of everyone here, and I know it is true of everyone in all of life, that life is simply revealing its magnificence by means of us. And that together we are getting to know that. We are getting to know what that feels like, what that sounds like, what it is, how it inspires us, and how we are inspired through it. And so I know that each one of us is lifted up in our awareness of the divinity that is God within. Each one of us is lifted up in our own awakening to the spiritual magnificence that is the truth of our lives now and forevermore. And I know that each one of us, in our own perfect and beautiful way, takes this in, allows it to be a seedling, to be a full blossom, to be a garden, and to have its way with us, trusting and knowing that God's way is absolutely perfect. And I give thanks. I give thanks for each one, for the power of love, and for knowing that all is absolutely well and good, now and forevermore. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Reverend Patty. And now please welcome back Allendale.
How absolutely perfect. We chose a couple songs for this service before we even knew that Patty was speaking today. And the next song we're doing is actually a song that became our class song when we were going through ministerial school. And so I'd like to dedicate this to Reverend Patty and everyone else in our class. We called ourselves Heather and her 12 disciples.
Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make, the reason you live. It's there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. All the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry where or when or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. 'Cause you will do amazing things.
You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile.
Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. 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 Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
Allendale. We are so blessed.
Thank you. Amazing. We're all doing amazing things. And right now we're going to do that amazing thing called our offering. So if our stewards will come forward. And it really is an amazing experience to get to participate in the activity of life in a conscious way. So here comes a daily dedicated spiritual practice. And so if you'll just take your gift, whether it's a gift in form or it's a gift of love, and know that it is being received in the highest way. Know that this gift is given to life, is given with love, is given from the fullness and the allness. And so please say with me, I give this gift with love, knowing that it blesses all life. Thank you, God. And so it is.
And so in the theme, keeping in the theme with magnificence, Ed has done this wonderful arrangement of the theme from the Magnificent Seven. So here we are. Ed Cosby and his wonderful arranging. All right, here we go. This little light of mine, welcome the kidlets in. And light of mine.